Realism, the oldest international relations theory, the simplest, and arguably the most important, is the perfect place for us to begin our analysis.
So for realists, states act in their own self-interest. Period.
The only thing we need to look at to predict and understand the behavior of a state is the national interest of that nation state.
We don't need to look at the ideology of the state, at its political system, at the individual leaders, at political events going on within that country. This theory goes against a lot of what we take for granted. How do realists justify the idea? The early realists generally attributed this to human nature, that humans were naturally antagonistic, violent, warlike. Modern anthropological and zoological research has not confirmed the view that humans are instinctively selfish and belligerent. So the explanation we are going to focus on, that is held by most modern realists, is
the structure of international society forces nation states to act in this way.
The political philosopher Thomas Hobbes argued that the state of nature was not an idyllic Garden of Eden, but rather a constant struggle of each against everyone else, a war of all against all. And in that state of nature, in that state where all fight against all, people's lives will necessarily be nasty, brutish, and short. But why? Hobbes argued that without some all-powerful authority, lawgiver, and law enforcer, no one could trust anyone else. Because what would stop others from coming to take what I have? What would stop others from killing me in order to get my possessions?
That's the last time I'll turn my back on you.
For Hobbes, this was part of an argument for all-powerful kings, unlimited rulers. For modern realists, the relevance to international relations is this. There can be no overarching international authority because there can be no body that has the power to enforce laws, rules, norms on actors like nation states. For modern IR realists, the anarchic structure of international relations makes it functionally identical to Hobbes' state of nature. Because there is no international actor with the power to enforce any rules, states' only recourse is to help themselves in whatever way they can. As I said, there is no evidence for a state of nature that is war of all against all, either in less developed societies or in some earlier stage of pre-civilization history. But there is one tragic phenomenon that seems to be well described as a war of all against all, and that is within modern failed states.